Hey guys, this is Mike Hartman, and I'm really excited to talk to you today about Facebook and group posting, and a strategy that I use every single day to post to multiple Facebook groups for free. I don't use a paid service. I can literally post to anywhere from 200 to 500 groups in about anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes. It takes me no effort at all, and I just want to share with you how I do it. But first, a little bit about me. What you're looking at is my Facebook business page called Newbie Marketing. Here's a picture of me, and here's some pictures of my kids. Like I said, the page is called Newbie Marketing, and please go to Facebook and look me up and like my page and tell your friends about it. I got online to try to earn some extra money for my family a few years ago, and what I do right now is I try to help other people. So if you've got a business on the internet, if you've been frustrated, if your mentor has entered the witness protection program, you're lost, I think I can help you out. We've got a page with a lot of people that talk every day, that provide tips for one another, and I'm more than happy to help you get your business going. So now let's get right to it and talk about this group posting strategy. Now, before I get started with this, I just want to throw out a disclaimer, and that is that this is not a program that I'm selling. This is not a software thing that you have to download. It's none of that. This is just a strategy that I use myself as an individual, and all I'm doing here tonight is sharing with you what I do. I mean, it's there's no money being made here. I'm giving this program away to whoever wants to watch this video. I'm not charging for it, and so I guess I throw out this disclaimer that this is just as a program that I'm doing, or a strategy that I'm doing, and all I'm trying to do is share it with you. You can think it's a good strategy, a bad strategy. Maybe you can take some tips from it and develop your own strategy. This is just a video tutorial on what one person does to post to groups. So, having said that, I want to kind of dive into what I do and tell you the updated, I guess, strategy on how to do this. So my strategy basically involves groups, email addresses. So what I do is I get the group's email address. Every group has an email address, and all you do then is plug that email address into your own email service, whether it be Google or Yahoo or Hotmail, whatever your email service is, and then you develop group email lists, and then you can send out your messages to these groups from your own email service, and it doesn't cost you a penny. And let me show you. Let me just randomly pick a group page here, and I'll show you real quick. Now, it used to be about several months ago that on these group pages here, and I just kind of picked this group out, out of random. But basically, they used to have an about section where my mouse is circling right here, and you could click this about section, and over here to the right, it would show you the group's email address, and that's how you would capture the email address to put in your own email contact list. But Facebook has again changed, and they've updated their service. And so that information is no longer available. Then they went to where you could click this member section here, and they would have the email address in this section. But again, they constantly change, and they're no longer doing that. So a lot of people have been contacting me saying, "Hey, your program your technique no longer works. It can't be done because they don't list the email address any longer on the group page," and that is correct. So what I want to talk to you about is how I get around that and still use this technique. Now, before I kind of dive into that, I kind of want to go into a few other things that is extremely important that you do, and that is you only want to email the groups that you belong to. I do not endorse spamming. I don't, I think the only groups that you should be posting in are groups that you have officially joined on Facebook. So, when you join a group, before you get going with that group, up here in this box before you get to the main page, there's going to be a little box that says, hey, do you want to join this page? And you definitely want to click yes, and you want to be an official member of any group that you post to. That's extremely important. The second thing that's important is when on your Facebook page, your own page, in your About section, Facebook gives you the ability, I believe, to list 2 email addresses for your account. And those 2 emails addresses that you list on your Facebook page should be the 2 emails that you use to post to groups, and hopefully that'll make sense. So if my email address on my Facebook page is mikehartman@yahoo.com, and that's what I've got listed on Facebook, when I post to the group pages, I'm going to use that exact same email address, because I want to use the email that I have officially posted on my Facebook page, and I'm only going to post to the groups that I already belong to. And I think that's extremely important. If you don't do that, I think you're going to get in trouble. And that, again, all this is just my opinion, stuff that I do. You can take my advice, don't take my advice, whatever you want to do. I'm just simply showing you a strategy on how to do this and what I do. But those are 2 things that are extremely important. You do not want to be emailing groups from an email account that Facebook doesn't recognize, and you certainly don't want to be posting in groups that you don't belong to. Okay, so now how do you go about doing this? So that's a really good question. So here's the technique. You can still do this technique, but what you need to do, and let me switch over, you may want to grab a piece of paper and pencil and write this down. I'm going to switch over to WordPerfect, or maybe just WordPerfect here will work. Let me switch over, and so I'm just, because the screen is kind of small, I'm going to figure I'll just type this out and it'll be easier for you guys to read. But Facebook, every group has a Facebook URL, so I'm just going to kind of type one here, www.facebook.com/ and then you're going to get these little symbols on the group's address. Let me back up here, groups / group name /. So this is just an example. Let me make this a little bit bigger, even in case it doesn't come out real well. So this is just kind of a very generic URL address for a group, and typically you'll have all this right here, and then this part right here will be the group's name. So if my Facebook page is Mike Hartman, then you're going to have right in here Mike Hartman. So it's really that simple. So now Facebook also, if you know, like if you work for a company that has a lot of employees and has an email service, you probably notice that the emails are always the same at the end. It's Mike Hartman at blah 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 company.com, or John Jones at samecompany.com. Well, Facebook is no different. So if you look at any group's email address, you're going to see this, at groups.facebook.com. Make sense? Now, that's the tail end of Facebook's email address for groups. So all you have to do to get the email address for a group that you already belong to is you're going to flip on to that group page. Let me go back here to, I'll just do it from here. So basically you're going to have this up in a URL address box for a group, and then right after the groups, right here, boom, this that I'm highlighting right here, that is the identifying name of that group. So all you're going to do is come over to the back end of this email address and type in group name. And now all of a sudden you've got an email address. Does that make sense? Let me do something else to just kind of prove it in case it's somewhat confusing. So if you have a group that says I like, well, let me back up. I like dogs, and that's the group name. You're going to still, all this is going to be the same. And then right after the slash mark for groups, all you're going to do is highlight I like dogs. And there you go. You've got I like dogs at groups.facebook.com. That's their email address. It's just, guys, it's just that simple. So now all you're going to do, let me get rid of all this junk. I'll just leave that up there in case you guys didn't write that down. But again, this is the address, and this is the important part right here. And then if you didn't write it down, I probably should have left that up there. You just go at groups.facebook.com, and then you're going to take whatever this is in this box, and it could be a name, or it could be, 10 different numbers. And whatever's in that box, that's what you want, and then you're just going to come up over here and paste it in front of the @ sign, and that is your email address. So basically what you're going to do then is you go to your email service. For example, a lot of people use Gmail. So you go to Gmail, for example, and you're going to take that group address and you're going to make a contact list within your email service. And then you might have 50 groups in that contact list, and then all you're going to do is email the contact list. And it's that simple. And with one email, you've just emailed 50 groups. Now what I find it works best, and you can play with it with your email service that you use, but the best thing to do is in the subject line, of your email. That is where you want to put your email body. This is where the email body should go. So, if you're going to write just a 2 or 3 sentence a post for your Facebook group, you want to put all of that in the subject line of your email, and then in the body of the email. That is where you put your link. And it's guys, it's just that simple. So all you do is you create the email address, you put that in the contact list of your email account, and then all you do is you send one email to your contact group. So I hope that makes sense. Now the next part of this can be somewhat not tricky, but it requires a little bit of knowledge on your part, and that is each email, let me get rid of this stuff, each email account has guidelines that they go by as far as how much you can email. So for example, with Gmail, and this stuff changes, so you need to stay on top of this stuff, but with Gmail you cannot send out a group email with more than 50 email addresses at one time. And then the other part of that is, I believe as I'm doing this video, the number is 500, and that is that you cannot send out more than 500 emails to email addresses in one day. So let me explain that. For example, so if you have when you build your contact list for your email service, if you're using Gmail, for example, under this situation, is you do not want to put more than 50 addresses in that. And then when you send it, because if you do, it's going to get blocked. And so that's important. And then you don't want to send out more than you should in any given day. So guys, that's basically it. You just need to stay within the guidelines of your email account and their stipulations, and you need to definitely only post to groups that you belong to. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click the link below and I'll be happy to help you out with more information.